Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Positive Profit, the YouTube show and podcast where we help you learn how to start and grow your own natural dog treat business. Hey friends, glad you are here. I'm your host and treat coach, Kara Brothers, and you do not want to miss today's episode. First of all, I am better from my cold, but I still have a cough and sometimes I get hoarse. I do have my tea here, so just bear with me and we'll get through this together. It's also like 200 degrees in my house, so I hope you can't hear the air conditioning. I'll try to edit it out as best I can, but I don't want to expire on this episode. I have too much to say. Can't happen. Sorry. So what I'm going to do is I will introduce the topic and the scenario that is this episode that was presented by a baker in our Dog Treat Baker Facebook group. I will share with you an interview from one of our very own, Melanie Stracko of Meatloaf's Kitchen. Melanie's Etsy shop has over 23,000 sales with an average rating of 5 stars and over 3,000 admirers of the work in her shop. Her Facebook page has over 2,500 followers and about the same amount of likes. A little secret. Melanie doesn't even know. I knew about Meatloaf's Kitchen, y'all, and I was a big fan before I ever started the Dog Treat Baker Facebook group. I was just starting my own dog treat biz when I discovered Meatloaf's Kitchen. You know how you check out other people's work? And I thought, how do they do that? Oh my gosh. Because when you're just starting out and looking at everyone's work going, oh my gosh, but her work stood out and it stood apart from everybody else's. Let me tell you, folks, and I am speaking just to the dog treat Facebook community here. When you see a post or a comment by Melanie Stracko, I think her name is on there is Melanie Stracko. Pay attention. This baker knows her stuff. She's also a classically trained pastry chef who has been running her own super successful dog treat business for many years now. She is the real deal, and you'll hear her interview later on in the show. Don't miss it. This episode will explore both sides of the issue that you're about to hear and invite listeners and viewers, y'all, to share your thoughts. This is a juicy one, so hold on to your aprons and let's get cooking. So here is the scenario, and it's going to be the basis for everything we're going to talk about. A baker in our Facebook group recently asked, has anyone had another business reach out to them asking for dog treats for an event they are having and then requesting to have you make personalized dog treats with their business name on them as a donation too? The business in question is a high-end clothing store where a pair of jeans costs $400. There is a lot to unpack. Now, this is an actual post in our Facebook group, and there are a lot of comments on it. By the way, if you're not a part of our Facebook group just for bakers to help them start and run their own successful dog treat bakery business, please literally pause this video or podcast and head over there and join us at facebook.com/groups/start-a-dog-treat-biz. This is the best Facebook group out there, in my opinion. We have a tight-knit community that is accepting of newcomers, open to feedback and suggestions, and some of the most talented dog treat bakers on the planet. And we have the best discussions there. Not to mention the most incredible pictures of all the outstanding work by our dog treat bakers and everything that they bake up. Y'all, I'm such a fangirl of our amazing group. Now, getting back, while some may view requests for donations as exploitative, others see them as valuable opportunities for strategic partnerships that can benefit their business in various ways. Go check out the post. It's on there. This is a real thing, and you're going to see both sides. So I wanted to present both sides, okay? Exposure and brand awareness. So let's talk about that. Partnering with a high-end clothing store or a similar business for an event can provide very valuable exposure and increase brand awareness. Being associated with a prestigious brand can enhance your own brand image and attract new customers who value luxury and quality. Collaborating with high-profile businesses offers the potential for marketing and promotional opportunities. Like, that cannot be understated. The requesting business may promote your treats on their social media channels, on their website, or even have event materials that reach a wider audience than you could ever do on your own. So this is a partnership. Participating in high-profile events can lead to valuable networking opportunities with other businesses and influencers in your industry. And building relationships with these contacts can open doors to future collaborations and partnerships. Now, supporting local businesses and events can also contribute to a sense of community engagement and goodwill, which goes a long way, and it's not forgotten, and it can be repeated too. Customers may view your business more favorably for supporting local initiatives and giving back to the community. Providing treats for a high-profile event can lead to future business opportunities with the attendees who discover and enjoy your products. Not bad. A positive experience with your treat at the event may encourage the requesting business to actually purchase your treats for future events or recommend your products to others. So let's talk about the case against donations. We highlighted all the pros. Now let's take a look at some of the cons. And this really came from some of the feedback that was left on that post. While some bakers see the value in donating treats for events, others do have concerns and arguments against this practice. Let's check them out. The value of products and time. This is a big one that was discussed. A lot of bakers believe that their products and their time are valuable and should be compensated for, especially when fulfilling requests for personalized treats. That's a custom deal there. They argue that donating treats to businesses, especially those that can afford to pay, right? Because a pair of jeans costs $400 in their shop, it devalues their products and undermines their hard work. Also, let's talk about exploitation of small businesses. Some bakers also felt that requests for donations from businesses, especially high-end ones, could be seen as exploitative. They argue that businesses requesting donations should be willing to pay for the products and the services that they receive, rather than just expecting handouts from small businesses. And a lack of guaranteed exposure. One of the main arguments against donating treats for events is the lack of guaranteed exposure and return on investment. And bakers were questioning whether the exposure gained from these events is actually worth the cost of donating treats, especially when there are no guarantees of increased business or brand recognition. Setting a precedent. Some bakers are concerned that fulfilling requests for donations sets a precedent that they're willing to work for free. And it might happen again. They might request free treats in the future, or maybe other businesses will request free treats because they saw that business do it. And they worry that this could lead for more or free discounted products in the future. And it would put pressure on their business's bottom line. I totally understand. I get that. Now, let's talk about the belief among some bakers that it's just unfair for businesses, especially those that are so profitable, to expect donations from smaller businesses. And they argue that businesses should be willing to pay fair prices for products and services, regardless of their status. It should just be a thing. So now it's time to navigate the decision. Deciding whether to fulfill a request for personalized dog treats for an event involves careful consideration of various factors, a few of them actually, to ensure that it aligns with your business goals and values. So step number 1, evaluate the request. What exactly are they asking for? Carefully evaluate their request, including the nature of the event, the potential benefits of participation, and what the requesting business is offering in return. That should be number 1. Get all those facts out, write it out, print out a copy of the email or the DM or however they reached you. What exactly is going on? What did they offer? and what do they want. Also consider whether the event and the requesting business even align with your brand image and target market. That can be a thing too. Also, I think Melanie touches on this that we'll talk about in just a minute. And then you need to assess the benefits. What's in it for you? Determine what benefits the collaboration could offer your business, like exposure, marketing opportunities, networking, and community engagement. And evaluate the potential long-term impact on your brand and your customer base. All right, next we need to consider the cost. That's what everyone's concerned about too. Calculate the costs involved in fulfilling the request, including the cost of ingredients, the time, the packaging, and any other expenses that go into providing these free treats for donation. And compare these costs to the potential benefits to determine if the opportunity is even financially viable for you. Next, you need to set boundaries and negotiate. Set clear boundaries for what you are willing to offer and what you expect in return. It's just good business sense. Just because they are a big business doesn't mean they have to be driving the ship. This is a partnership, right? So your partners steering the ship together. If the requesting business is asking for donations, consider negotiating for a fair exchange, such as social media promotion, event sponsorship, or future business opportunities. Kind of the norm. Next, value your time and expertise. Recognize the value of your time, your expertise, and your products. And don't be afraid to assert your worth. We all know what their worth is, a $400 pair of jeans, right? People already know what that shop is about. And don't be afraid to stand up from your brand and state what you're worth. Absolutely. Avoid undervaluing your products or services in exchange for exposure that may not materialize into tangible benefits. Lastly, seek legal advice if necessary. If you are unsure about the legal complications of donating treats or entering into a partnership, seek advice from a legal professional who can provide guidance based on your specific circumstances. I have a feeling that if you go to this length where you seek legal advice, you can do it once and it will really help you in the future if you choose to go that route. Now that we have basically explored both sides of the issue, the pros and the cons, let's hear from someone who has successfully navigated similar opportunities. Today, we have a special guest joining us to share her insights and experiences with handling requests for personalized dog treats for events. Melanie, who successfully navigated similar opportunities and was featured in Martha Stewart magazine, has graciously agreed to answer some questions about her experience. And I'll go ahead and share with you the interview segment that we did with her. Okay, question number 1. Can you tell us about a specific event or collaboration where you provided personalized treats? Melanie says, I was asked to make treats for the Sundance Film Festival. I wanted to stand out and be noticed, so I made 500 dog treats that looked like strips of old school film. It was a lot of fun, but also a lot of work. This was before all the new ways to make and receive cookie cutters, so each one had to be hand cut. What was the nature of the event and how did it benefit your business? She says, the Sundance Film Festival is an annual film festival organized by the Sundance Institute. It is the largest independent film festival in the United States. The treats were placed in swag bags for people who donated a certain dollar amount. I can't say for sure if this was the event or others I did that year, but 100% of people took notice and my sales jumped and I got a lot of exposure. Next question. How do you approach requests for donations or collaborations with businesses for events? Melanie's answer is, I would say that I'm pretty unorthodox. I try not to say no to requests. You never know who's going to see your treats. That being said, I do not bite off more than I can chew. If they request 500, but I can only handle 100 that week, I work that out with them. I need to know what kind of exposure I will get. Will my logo be on social media? Will I be mentioned in any of the flyers they hand out? I never just want to be tossed in a bag. I also never say no to anything animal related. I send treats to rescues with no strings. Next question. Do you have any criteria or guidelines that you follow? She says, the entire point of giving a donation would be exposure. So I need to have my company mentioned on social media. That is the biggest requirement. Now, there is an entirely different set of rules for influencers. They reach out all the time. I very rarely give to them. They need a huge following and they have to be neutral. I don't want to back a brand or a person that leans one side or the other politically or has a very open stance on something. Side note where this came from. I was at a craft show and I had on an NFL sweatshirt with the Patriots logo on it in Pennsylvania. A man walked up to my table, looked at me, looked at my sweatshirt, and said, I would never buy anything from a Patriots fan. Lesson learned. Okay, so my comment on that is stay neutral, folks. You're Switzerland. Remember, be Switzerland. Okay. Next question. What advice do you have for bakers who are considering donating treats for events or collaborating with businesses for promotional opportunities? She says, go for the gusto. If you're going to send treats to a high-end gala where they spend $10,000 for a seat, make sure your treats look like they're worth it. High-end packaging, high-end labels. Even if it's not what you normally do, go over the top. Never let them bully you into making more than what you can do. Put your foot down. Make sure they are going to blast you on social media or in the sponsorship pamphlets. Put a code on the treats so you know if you're getting a return from them. My comment is, create a code, you guys, like a discount code. This code should be unique for that event so you can track how many responses you get. This will help you to know how to plan for this event next year if you're invited back. One good way to do that is use a QR code that leads them to a page on your website where they can see the code and, use it to check out and get a discount. Then you'll know every time that code is used, it went right to that event and specifically to that event. So you know if it was successful for you or not. Next question. Can you share any memorable experiences or lessons learned from your collaborations with businesses or events? She says, a little lesson learned story. We love little lessons learned. For years, I donated to a very charitable cause. In the beginning, they were amazing, mentioning me everywhere on Facebook and Instagram. They would send me letters thanking me and gifts, and it was great. Then I noticed they wanted more. Instead of one event, there were 4. The next time I sent treats, they didn't even mention me anywhere, so I stopped giving. It was hard because they were a great cause that no one should feel obligated to give and get nothing in return. I think everyone should remember this is a business. Next question. How do you balance the potential benefits of exposure in marketing with the costs and the time involved in fulfilling requests for personalized treats? That is a good question. And if you ask my husband, he would laugh and say, I have no balance. He is probably right. But that being said, I do have a slow season. I notice a big drop in sales during the summer, so I only do donations during that time to boost sales. I never do any October, November, December. I'm so crazy busy that I would never be able to keep up. I try to keep my costs low, so I choose packaging that requires very little effort to put together, but again, looks high-end. I'm a big fan of Temu and wedding favors. It is amazing what you can find low cost that looks amazing. I should add that sometimes things are duds. I sent 100 personalized treats to the Asher house for Valentine's Day. Each heart had a different dog's name on it, and nothing, not even a thank you. I don't even know if they just got it, put it in a warehouse, or if they were opened. I sent treats to Pet Lifestyle magazine this week. So now it's a waiting game to see if I get a shout out from them. You never know, but you have to try. Woohoo! Pet Lifestyle magazine. Now here's my little lesson learned story. Okay, this is my experience with it. Talk about giving and getting nothing in return. Many years ago, I was the owner and creator behind Eastwood Tie-Dye. That was my business back then. I tie-dyed. My jam was geode tie-dye. Anyway, I was super invested in TikTok and I had a video that went viral, which was so exciting. I was basically brand new to influencer collaboration and I took every path that I knew to make something work so I could keep up my social media momentum because it's intoxicating. Once you get it, you're like, I must have more. And I got a lot of followers. I ended up reaching out to a popular influencer on TikTok about sending them some geode dyed clothing in exchange for shout outs in their live videos and promotion on their social media. So the thing is, they would wear my tie dye, shout me out, promote me. They agreed. I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe they agreed because I had sent many messages out, but this is the only one that I got a bite on. All right, so I stuffed a box full of my very best pieces in her size, worth about $280, and I mailed it off. And I crossed my fingers. Guess what, you guys? Crickets. I reached out a week after delivery, basically, a week after I had confirmed the box had been delivered, and they ghosted me for a week after I reached out. And when they replied, they confirmed that they got the box. So naturally, I asked when they're going to start wearing the tie-dye on the air and fulfilling their end of our verbal agreement. Okay. They said in 3 days they would do this. So 3 days came and went. I let another week go by just in case, because you could see on her live TikTok, she's having a marital issue and, her kids are running around. Who knows? Anyway, so I give this lady some grace. I let another week go by. Crickets. Again, I reached out several more times and I received empty promises. Basically just, oh yeah, I will. And then she didn't. Oh, and then, oh yeah, I will. It just never happened. After 6 weeks, no kidding, I realized that she had no intention of ever acknowledging our verbal agreement. Can you see what's wrong here already? I was both furious and I was super embarrassed that I wasn't careful enough to have something in writing. And I ended up getting played. I lost a bunch of money. And I'm sharing this story in hopes that somebody out there learns from my dumb experience and handles the situation more responsibly from the get-go. Well, I want to thank Melanie Stracko for sharing her insights and experiences with us. Melanie, your perspective has provided valuable insights into the complexities of navigating requests for personalized dog treats for events. I'll link an article in the description below, you guys, that featured a spotlight on Melanie from Meatloaf's Kitchen that was published on perfectpuree.com. Cool article. And there's another one that was actually published in the Pocano Business Journal. You can read it online. And I'll also post the link. And Melanie says that was a cool article and it was free. So let me recap the scenario for you that we've been talking about. Okay, I'll read it again. Has anyone had another business reach out to them asking for dog treats for an event they're having and then requesting to have you make personalized dog treats with their business name on them as a donation too? The business in question is a high-end clothing store where a pair of jeans costs $400. Now, if I were the baker in this situation, I would approach it as an opportunity for a strategic partnership and exposure because that benefits both parties. And let's remember that both parties are businesses. And here is how I might structure the agreement, which is a request for collaboration. Dear $400 jeans store, I'm excited about the opportunity to collaborate with $400 jeans store for your upcoming event. I understand you are requesting personalized dog treats with your business name on them for the event, and I would like to propose a mutually beneficial arrangement for this collaboration. Proposed agreement. Number 1, personalized treats. I am happy to provide the number of treats, personalized treats for the event featuring $400 store's logo or branding. So state right there exactly how many treats you're going to provide and with their logo or branding, okay? Number 2, promotional opportunities. In exchange for these treats, now here's where you're going to lay it out. This is where the rubber's going to meet the road, y'all. I would request the following promotional opportunities. Social media promotion. $400 jean store agrees to promote my business on their social media channels leading up to the event, including at least 4, state your number, posts highlighting our collaboration. Event promotion. $400 jean store agrees to include my business logo and information in event materials such as flyers, programs, or signage. Website promotion. You got to cover all the bases, guys. $400 jean store agrees to feature my business on their website, including a dedicated page or section highlighting our collaboration. This is just an example, by the way. Pick and choose what works for you. Change the wording as you see fit. I'm not a lawyer. This is just something I would draw up. Okay. Something is better than nothing. State your terms. All right. Quid pro quo. I believe in the principle of quid pro quo, and I'm open to discussing additional ways we can mutually support each other's businesses. This could include cross-promotional opportunities, joint events, or other collaborative efforts. Logistics. We can discuss logistics such as delivery or pickups of the treats, packaging requirements, and any other details to ensure a successful collaboration. You're laying it all out on the table. So now you're going to highlight the benefits for the $400 jean store. Increased brand exposure. Your customers and event attendees will be introduced to my brand through the personalized treats, leading to potential new customers. Now, this is a benefit to them and to you, obviously. We don't know for sure that it's going to lead to potential new customers, but there's no bones about it. This agreement is stated to provide benefits for both parties, and new customers certainly is the benefit for your business too. The next is positive brand association. By partnering with a local business, $400 jean store demonstrates its commitment to supporting the community and local entrepreneurs. More benefits for them. Social media engagement. Our collaboration can generate buzz on social media, leading to increased engagement and followers for the $400 jean store. I am confident that this collaboration will be mutually beneficial and look forward to discussing the details further. Please let me know if you have any questions or if there are any other ways we can enhance this partnership. Thank you for considering this proposal. I'm excited about the possibility of working together and am confident that our collaboration will be a success. Best regards, your name, your business, your contact info. Again, I'm not a lawyer. This makes sense to me. This is what I would do. If you have any questions, seek some legal advice and figure out how to draw this up in a way that you feel comfortable with, that covers all your bases and says what you want it to say. This is just an example. So now I want to hear from you. Share your experiences, your opinions, and your advice on this topic to contribute to the ongoing discussion. We're all here to help each other. Have you ever received requests for personalized treats for events? How did you handle them? What factors did you consider when deciding whether to fulfill such requests? And I want you guys to voice your opinion. Do you believe that exposure from events like these is valuable for small businesses, or do you think it can be exploitative? What side of the fence are you on? Should businesses be expected to pay for personalized treats, or is exposure a fair exchange? And what advice do you have for bakers facing similar decisions? We heard from Melanie. I want to hear from you. How can bakers in the same situation ensure that collaborations are beneficial from their business? What have I missed? Let me know. And join the discussion. Comment right here or on our social media channels. I say are. It's just me. I'm a solopreneur. I mean, me and my dogs, I guess. It's just me. But comment right here or on my social media channels. I'm on Instagram at Positive Profit. I have a Positive Profit Facebook page. And of course, we have the Dog Treat Baker Facebook group. And I have positiveprofit.com. And this is how we're going to continue the discussion and really get eyes on it so that other bakers can benefit. So please jump in. Your comments may be featured in future episodes as we continue to explore this topic and others that are related to it. Really, all topics related to running a successful dog treat business. And stay tuned, you guys. We're going to share some of your comments and insights in future episodes. So be sure to subscribe and stay tuned for updates. And then make sure you come back to this video and read the comments that were left by others. So to wrap this up, deciding whether or not to fulfill requests for personalized dog treats for events requires careful consideration, doesn't it? Of the potential benefits and the drawbacks, and evaluate each opportunity based on your business goals, your values, and the potential impact on your brand. And you can make informed decisions that align with your vision for your business. I hope this episode has helped you do that or given you more to think about or take next steps. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And I look forward to hearing your thoughts on this important topic. Happy baking, and I'll see you next time. Until then, don't forget to treat yourselves well. Cheers.